구원해준 나의 천사 나의 세상 난 이상 새 고향이 널 만나러
Warning, my voice incoming, mute if needed. The hallway stretched before Wayan, the faint scent of brewed coffee and warm bread still clinging to her from the cafeteria. She entered the classroom, its quiet air holding the rustle of paper and the distant echo of voices from outside. Setting her bag gently on the desk, she reached for her book, but something in the motion felt incomplete, like a sentence cut short. Her fingertips searched deeper, brushing only fabric and air, not the familiar touch of smooth leather. Her brows knit together, a small crease forming between them. She leaned over, peeking into her bag again, her breath caught in a pause. That diary, small and dear, was nowhere in sight, as if it simply vanished. What happened? Brooke's voice broke the silence, warm yet curious. Wayan's words were soft, almost swallowed by the stillness. I think lost my diary. Brooke's lips curved faintly. You never bring it to school. I know, Wayan murmured, eyes clouded. I just bought it today, but oh, Brooke, I think I lost it. Brooke tilted her head thoughtfully. Could it be in the cafeteria? Wayan blinked, a flicker of hope returning. Must be there. Brooke rose from her chair. Let's go and search for it. But Wayan's hand lifted quickly. You stay here, cover for me, I'll be quick. Brooke's smile was assuring. You'll find it, don't worry. Wayan nodded, clutching her bag and rushing toward the door. The corridor swallowed her steps, its floor gleaming under strips of sunlight. She moved fast, heart drumming against her ribs, the thought of that lost diary pulling her forward like a thread she could not let slip away. The cafeteria glimmered in the soft glow of the afternoon light, its air heavy with the faint scent of bread and coffee. Wayan's gaze swept over the room, searching until it found the table she had sat on only moments ago. It should have been empty, with just her diary resting like a forgotten treasure in the center, but the sight that met her eyes was startling. Someone sat there, completely at ease, her diary cradled carelessly in his hands. Those hands belonged to none other than Jungkook. The boy everyone whispered rumor seemed to revolve around. Her breath caught, her pulse quickening. Why is he holding my diary? The thought sank into her like ice. And then the truth struck. He is reading it. Heat flushed her cheeks, a fierce mix of disbelief and anger rising in her chest. She strode forward without hesitation, her footsteps quick and sharp, and pulled the diary from his grip. Jungkook lifted his gaze to her, his expression calm, as though trespassing into her private world was nothing at all. I thought you were just a troublemaker in school, but it seems you have lost your manners too, Wayan whispered sharply. His lips curved into a slow, knowing smile. And I thought you were simply the quiet girl in the school, but it seems you dream about me. Her face stilled, her thoughts scattering. How much did he read? Since when? She lowered her eyes, unable to meet his, her heart beating painfully loud. Jungkook leaned forward slightly, tilting his head as though trying to catch her gaze. Tell me, sweetheart, why is my name in your diary? He asked, his voice laced with amusement. Without a word, Wayan slipped the diary into her bag, securing it as though it might disappear again. She turned away from Jungkook, ignoring the sound of him calling her name, refusing to glance at the shadow of his figure following her. She walked quickly, though she had no clear destination. Her mind was heavy, thoughts tumbling over one another. He had read her diary, the one place she had poured her private thoughts. Not even Brooke knew these words, but now he did. How could she undo this moment? How could she return home, place the diary safely in her drawer, and pretend it had never happened? The thought alone made her chest tighten, every step feeling heavier than the last. Her wandering brought her to one of the secluded corners of the school, a place where students sometimes sought quiet. The air there was still touched by the distant hum of life elsewhere. It felt almost like stepping out of time. She turned, and there he was. Jungkook stood a few paces away, hands tucked casually into his pockets, his eyes locked on her. She swallowed, her throat dry, the sight of him stirring both unease and defiance within her. "You should not have read it," she said, meeting his gaze. He lifted a brow, the corner of his lips curving faintly. "I think you should not have written about me," he replied, stepping closer with deliberate ease. Her back brushed against the cold wall as he closed the space between them. He was taller, his presence pressing in, but it was not fear that gripped her, it was the weight of being exposed, her private truth now in his hands. "So, tell me, what were you thinking about me?" Jungkook's gaze locked onto hers, his voice carrying a calm challenge. Wayne swallowed hard. Can he now just leave? He had already asked too many questions, yet his eyes refused to let her go. "Look, it was just a dream, and I wrote it down." Her words cut short as he leaned in slightly. "Dreaming about me is fine, you see me every day, but why write those things so you can remember them forever?" The heat of his words made her blink rapidly, her eyes darting away. "Can I punch him now?" she thought bitterly. She felt trapped under his questions, her chest tightening. "I'm sorry," she murmured, her voice small, almost breaking. Jungkook's brow rose again, watching her intently. "I'm really sorry. You're right. I shouldn't have written it," she added, finally meeting his eyes. For a moment he blinked as though he wanted to pull his own words back, but he stayed still. "I'll tear out the page that I wrote about you," Wayan said, her throat dry. She hated the thought, but if it meant avoiding trouble, she would do it. His gaze sharpened slightly. "Why?" he asked, his tone softer now. The question itself felt foolish to her. "I do not want to end up like one of your girls," she replied plainly. His expression shifted and he took a step closer, his breath brushing against her forehead, scattering her thoughts in every direction. "I'll tear it up," she repeated, sliding her back between them and gently pushing him back. "I'll not be any trouble and I'm sorry again." She spotted a small gap between them and seized her chance to leave. Her footsteps quickened, refusing to turn back or let him say another word. She knew that if she lingered, she might fall into the trap of his gaze, those deep, dangerous eyes that felt far too tempting to look at twice. That night, Wayan slipped her diary beneath the safety of her drawer. She tore the page away, but she could not bring herself to throw it down. Instead, she folded it neatly and tucked it where only she would know,